Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer for the New Boston. And in this tutorial, we're going to start learning about inheritance. Now, inheritance is a very big part of object-oriented programming, and it's a way to write the code once and be able to use it over and over again. Now, let's go ahead and come into our allcars.vb file, and you can see here that we have our class car. Now, this is inside of the namespace all cars. So let's come down here, and just under class car, we're going to make another class. So we'll call it sports car. We'll go ahead and hit enter, and you can see it adds in class to us. So now we have sports car and car inside of our all cars namespace. So what we need to do to inherit from the car class is type inherits car. So basically what this is saying is that everything that a car can do, or all of the functions and methods and variables inside of a car, we can use those inside of our sports car without having to rewrite the code all again. Now if we didn't inherit, we would have to copy all of this and paste it down in here, make our code really ugly, and you'd see a bunch of the same thing over and over again. So what we did is just we inherited from car. So now let's add some values to our car. So we'll come up here and we will add private weight as let's just do integer. So we have a weight variable to get the weight of our car, and now what we need to do is come down here, and since we're making a sports car, you're probably wanting to know what the horsepower is. Actually, I got that mixed up. We want to add horsepower up here, and then the weight down here. So when you have a sports car, you probably are wondering what the weight is in terms of performance for the ratio of weight to horsepower. And this is something that you would look at when you're trying to choose a sports car. So now that we've added horsepower and weight, let's come up here into our sports car class, and we'll just end that right there. Now we'll come back here to form1.vb, and we will create a sports car object. So we'll do private default sports car as new, and then we'll use the namespace all cars dot sports car. Okay, so now we have our sports car. Now let's come back here and we'll add a method that will send back the attributes of the sports car. Now you can see that we have the overrides function toString for this. Now this is what we use to get the general information of our car. So what we want to do is we'll just copy this right here, and we will make a sub. So public, we'll make it public so that we can access it outside of this class. Public sub get sports info. We won't need any arguments. We'll just paste this right here, and what we want is we want the name, the color, the doors, the speed, and then we're going to add the weight and the horsepower. So we'll just add horsepower, and then we'll just type horsepower. Aha, here's our error. I made it a sub and not a function. So we want to make it a function, and we want to set it to type string so that it will return all of this. So we'll just send it the horsepower and then the weight. And we'll just go ahead and put speed right there so that it accesses the property speed. And you can see here that we are not getting any errors. Now, the reason we're not getting any errors is because the sports car inherits everything from car. So whatever is in car, we can use it in sports car. Now you can see we do get an error on the horsepower because we made that private. Now let's come up here and we will make a property to get or set the horsepower. So gets and sets horsepower. And for this we'll just add int horsepower right here. So we'll type public property horsepower as integer. Now for our get, we will just return int horsepower, and for our set, we'll type int horsepower equals value. Okay, so that will get rid of our error right here. You can see that horsepower shows up. And whenever you inherit from something, if you're inheriting private variables, you will not be able to directly access them through this like I did. You can see that car name is public, so we can access that. So let's come over here to our form1.vb again, and we will just set some of the values for our default sports car. Now the sports car inherits the constructor from our car, so it sets the color, the speed, and the number of doors. Now sports cars ideally have 2 doors, but we'll go into overloading constructors in the next tutorial. But we're just going to need to set the weight and the horsepower. So for now we'll just make weight public, and then we'll add a property later on. Okay, so we'll come over here to form1.vb, we'll type default sports car dot weight, and we'll set it equal to, let's say, 1,000 pounds. And then we will set the horsepower dot horsepower equals, and let's just give it 500 horsepower. Now for show info, where is it? Right here. We'll just go ahead and type default sports car, and if we use .toString, it would work fine and give us certain information, but we want all of the information. So we'll just type, let's see, get sports info. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this, and we need to hurry up here because I'm running out of time. But we'll go ahead and click show info. We've got the name, we haven't set it a name yet, color red, number of doors 5, speed is 0, horsepower is 500, and weight is 1,000. Now I didn't add a new line in there, but I will add that, and we will talk more about this in the next tutorial. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next tutorial.